guys, welcome to my December daily album. This is for 2014 and I will be sure to link the kits that I used in the comments below or the description below so that you can get all of the stuff that's here if you're interested. Otherwise, use your own stash, use whatever style you like. The style that I decided on for this album was more of a vintage, kind of kitschy, retro feel, and the three kits that gave me that was, they're all from October Afternoon. So I used Eggnog, I used Make It Merry, and I used Silent Night. All three of those, plus some other things that I had in my stash, but not too many. I think I threw a little Deena Rutter Christmas in as well. So here we go. I use a mix of different sizes of protectors. So this one is just a bit of an intro. I guess at one point I hadn't decided what size I was going to use, but I like the 6x8 and I liked to be able to use just a few things that I wasn't sure where I was going to be able to use them in my album. Oh, and one more thing to add. I did this album not as a daily necessarily, not necessarily as a daily journal, but as an alpha style. So I made a list in which I'll also link below to my blog post where I gave ideas for words and Christmassy ideas that start with each letter. So you'll see the theme going through here is going to be alpha order. So it'll be fun. I'm not sure I'll do it again this particular way. It was a bit difficult, a little bit challenging, although it was very fun. I'm not sure yet. We'll see when next year comes. But I liked all of the colors I could use here with the greens and the reds and the blues. Anyway, that's a title page. I am missing a few items, just a few pictures, and one item that I'm missing here is going to be my reasons why December is so important. So I've got it written out. I just am not sure how I'm going to put it together yet, if I'm going to print it or maybe handwrite it. We'll see. And then I made more of an intro page. So I stapled a little Merry Christmas here. I used a Santa and a Ho 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 and another one of Deena's calendars, as well as one of the kits came with all these little stickers, these word stickers. So I just randomly put colors and things that I thought I could use. And then the little tree was really super cute, and this Nutcracker, What's Crackin', and I really liked the little deer. Normally this isn't my style. I don't know why I was so attracted to this year, but it really, really turned out the way that I hoped that it would. So I'm pretty pleased. And on the flip side of that is A, the letter A. So I prepped myself in cutting out letters for each letter of the alphabet. And just decided if I needed to use the letter, I would use it. Otherwise, I would find something else. But I always wanted to just be able to have the letter there if I needed it. So A is around town, and I did not really get around town as much as I was hoping for. So the prepped pages that I did were this page and the title insert, and I maybe would have put a 2x2 here. And I did get one of our little downtown, which doesn't really look very Christmassy because it's got a blue sky and maybe some clouds, but there are little wreaths hanging around, and I really wanted to get out more. We ended up not even going to see lights at all. I think it was just laziness, and it's been really cold, and so if I get out and about, I might insert some photos. Otherwise, I don't know, I might just leave them blank and put some other little cards in there, or at some point maybe I'll take pictures of just kind of the stores that we like to go to, or places around town that we normally go, and not necessarily Christmas stuff, but we'll see. I'm sure that our town will keep the Christmas stuff up maybe for another week or so. We'll see, but whatever, it's fine. So the next letter would be for B. B is for books, and I had this cute like a library card that came with one of the kits, and then Marshall and I reading 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and the little elf with the book I thought was really perfect. So I had a lot of fun with mixing a lot of the colors and using, like the book has yellow in it, so I pulled yellow from here and here, and the navy ended up working really well with my shirt, and so I used a navy label there. And this is to be is also for birthday, because I turned 35 this year, and so this I cheated a little. This picture was not taken on my birthday, but it was taken shortly after, and I needed a picture that went this way, so this is just the picture that I used. Sometimes you just have to fudge to make it work. And C was a really fun letter. I did a lot of different things. Some of the alpha blog posts that I read that other people did, they chose just one item for each letter, and I didn't want to limit myself that way, so I picked a bunch of things, and kind of whatever came around. So I used a Christmas calendar, Baby It's Cold Outside, and with Marshall in his big puffy jacket, and Gibson's Christmas list, which was basically just one thing, oh, and a pony and a rainbow, because he's always funny. Candy canes and holiday cheer for Gibson and I. We liked the Justin Timberlake and Jimmy Fallon Rapperville video. That was really funny. And then Christmas cards that we received, and I put a little tag here for cards for this little insert. And my very favorite card, Nicole, you're making a cameo in my video here, because you guys have the card that won it all this year. That is the best Christmas card I've ever seen. Kudos. And then C also was for cheers. And so Christmas morning, we all had our different drinks, and I printed it, or we did a cheers, and then I printed it in 6x6 and cut them out into 3x3 squares so they fit. And then one of the kits had this just adorable mice with cookies and candy canes, and I swore I wasn't going to use it. I was like, that's way too cartoonish. I'm never going to use that. And then when I decided to do alpha, I realized, oh my gosh, they have cookies and candy canes, and so it will be perfect for the letter C. And then pictures of Marshall making cookies. And these are these are all 3x3s that came in one of the kits. I believe that this came from Eggnog. And then I just threw in a couple of extra little things that pulled colors in, and a little label, and wrote cookies, just so that we knew what we were doing, if it's not obvious. D is for decorations, decking the halls, kind of overall decorating stuff. So pictures of the tree and getting the tree all set up. We do a white artificial tree, which to me is super gorgeous. So and before we got to decorate at home, I got to decorate at work. So I brought in, well, I have a little Thunderbird that I keep there. So I painted a really small village that I had. You can see it here. I painted it all white and put it on my little credenza behind my desk. So anyway, just some fun things. Trimming the tree, little circle with the date. Really, these kits have so many options for just documenting everything about the month of December, whether you do it on a daily or an alpha or any other way that you decide to document. I really found having all these kits gave me a lot of options. And so then we'll move on to E, and if you follow me on Instagram, you probably seen the doily with the E's on it, the sacred E's. No matter what kind of scrapbooking you do, E's are very sacred. There's never enough, and when you need 2 in a row, you've only got 1. When you need 1, you have none. So, but I sacrificed some E's because I really had this vision, and I'm really glad that it worked out the way that it did. E was for enjoy, and elf. And a picture of Gibson and I enjoying some peppermint ice cream sandwiches was one of the first inserts that I did. I just loved the yellows, the real bright yellows that kind of come around all 4 inserts. And this is one of my favorite inserts ever, just because I totally love the movie, and I love the quote. It's one of my favorites from the movie. So I actually just found a good quality photo of the elf cover page, or poster, without any of the background. It was just on a white background. Printed it out at home on a 4x6 photo paper, and then just trimmed around it so that the white background matched. I didn't want, it was a different white, you know, the photo paper is a different brightness, so I wanted it to match. So I just cut it out. And then used some alphas to do the quote. So this was a really fun one. F is for family and fragile. It must be Italian from A Christmas Story. I have these ornaments I got from a friend for a birthday a few years ago, and I hadn't really figured out where I was going to use them yet. But I have a bunch of them from the movie. There's like Ralphie in the bunny suit, and his glasses that are broken, and just some cute ones. So that was really perfect. This fragile sticker came in one of the kits, and I just had to use it. I didn't have a choice. Called to me. Anyway, a picture of our family on Christmas Eve after we got home from our parents' house, and I had this family sticker from another kit, not a Christmas kit, but I knew that that's what I was going to use it for. And anyway, then I did a couple of collages of some family that we visited early or in the month, and then our Christmas Eve family. So I printed those 6x6 after I did the grids, and then just ran with that. And then we had an office Christmas little get together, and my boss got us all chair massages and then took us to lunch, and we did a gift exchange. And so I just have a picture of all of us and our gifts, and then us as a group in front of our tree. It was a fun day. And then gifts, or G, this is G, sorry, we moved from F to G. So G is for gifts. And one of the other gifts was that my parents came to town and took both of our boys to basically a $100 shopping spree. So Marshall wanted to get some Legos, and then Gibson got $100 towards his longboard, which he really, really wanted for Christmas. So G is for gifts, and also for grays and games and granola. And granola is something special that I make for everyone during the holidays. So I actually printed out the recipe, so maybe for future generations, if anybody ever wants to make it, then it's there. And I can't get this back in. I don't know where I got these envelopes from, these little craft colored envelopes. Okay, you know what, really having trouble here. Okay, there we go. Anyway, there we go. Okay, we're good. And then G for Gibson, and just the other little picture I have of Marshall and the Legos that he chose. And this is a cute shaker card that my friend Gretchen made for me. We went to a crop, a bunch of us local girls, and she made one of these for everyone, and put our initials in there. So I got a G, and I actually I had a space right here for a picture of granola, but when I got this, it matched perfectly, and so I just threw it in there and figured I don't need a picture of the granola. So this was way cuter. Anyway, okay, so moving on to H. So holly and jolly, hot chocolate, honey baked ham, the happiest season of all, oh holy night, and have yourself a merry little Christmas. H was a little, difficult. Like, there's only a couple of things on my list, but there was a lot of H words in the kit that I just knew I wasn't going to use anywhere else. So I kind of put them aside and got them in here. And this was something that I found, a quote that I found on Pinterest, and I saved the image and then put it into an iPhone app and changed it to a brown so that it kind of matched, because it was black and it didn't really go. I kind of wanted it to be more of the brown color. So and then I only had one image for I, and that's icicles. Again, just an image that I found on Google, and I printed it as 6x8 and then put a whiteboard around it, because these pages are bigger than 6x8 apparently. So anyway, and then this is a graphic for J that I used, or that I made. I took a picture of a candy cane upside down, because I always thought that a candy cane was an upside down J for Jesus. So I just found this quote that or this verse I really liked, and did this for J. Also for J is joyful, just a picture of Gibson and I being silly. Jingle bells. This isn't J, but this card really fit in well with everything else that was going on here, so I just threw it in there and then put a picture of the weather system. It was really rainy finally this December. So joy, this is from Deena's kit, and that fit perfect there too. And Jolly, and I actually used, this is from the Maggie Holmes, I think it's Style Board, her newest one. I don't know, I just got it, but it's really pretty, and it really fit with like this kind of brownish gray thing I've got going on. And then Jack Frost is also from the J word or J letter, because Marshall never really was interested in the stop motion TV special. Every year I tried to record it and he was just not even interested, and he watched it like 10 times this year, so I just thought I would document that. And the boys, just Marshall was happy with Gibson, and he's just giving him a hug, and that rarely happens. So, and as you can see, Gibson's still trying to check out his phone. Anyway, Kay, so here's one of the photos that I'm missing. I wanted a picture of Matt and I kissing. We didn't have any mistletoe anywhere, but I still would like to have a picture of the two of us. So I'll eventually get one of those taken, and I'll get it printed and put in here. And then for Kay is also for Three Kings, and we got a nativity scene, a nativity set this year, and so the Three Kings I put together and just took a little picture, and then one of the verses about the Three Kings coming to visit Jesus, I just hand wrote it out there, put a couple of embellishments that went with that turquoise-ish and cream and red vibe. Okay, moving on to L. Lights. I worked very hard to get this bokeh shot of my tree. It's difficult with an iPhone. But then so I kind of blew it up or zoomed in just to get just some of the lights, and then wrote lights on it with an iPhone app, and then printed it as a 6x6. And then here's one of my little L's that I use with my silhouette, and I just outlined it with red ink just so that it popped off of the page a little bit more. And then so lights, obviously we got a dishwasher halfway through December, and so of course Marshall gets the box, and I ended up poking holes in the box and then putting his colored Christmas lights, poking the Christmas lights through so that the lights shined inside. I don't even know what the right word is there. Shone, I don't know. Anyway, put the lights through. And he was a happy camper in there. It was his doghouse, so he's in there with Fluffy Dog. And then love. So just a little blurb about how I love it when the boys play together. And here Gibson was teaching Marshall one of those hand clapping, games. And then they were tickling, and L is for laughter. And then this is a picture of my parents with them before they left to go back home. And they were just being very silly. And it just turned out to be such a fun, cool picture. Okay, so then M. M is mainly for music and movies, because those are really important things in our house. So my favorite albums that we listened to the most this year were the Gene Autry Christmas Classics and Christmas with Weezer. Really, I understand, two very far from each other on the music spectrum, but we listen to a lot of different music around here. And then, oh, hello, Marshall. And then this tape was probably the first thing from the kit that I saw that drew me to the Make It Merry kit. I believe that's the kit that this one is from, and I just was like, that's exactly what I want my album to be like this year, so let me get my hands on that. And then the movies that we really liked that were on repeat this year were It's a Wonderful Life, always. And I just found the images on Google and printed them. They weren't always 4x6, so like this one got cut off a little bit at the end, which is fine. That's like not really a big deal. Not crazy about that. And then White Christmas is one of my favorites, and the boys actually got it for me on DVD for Christmas, so that was really nice. And then I just added some other couple things, pulling the yellow from here, pulling the blues around. And then I am missing a picture of our new moose for the year. Every year we collect a Christmas moose. And so I need to just get a couple of pictures and do a layout for the moose. And then I'm also waiting on my pictures of my nativity. So for M, and then N. Also for N is Naughty and Nice. So I had this really cool Naughty and Nice list. And then basically just took some random pictures of us and stamped Naughty and Nice. Now I just made the letters there. I don't actually have a stamp that says naughty or nice. I just kind of put the letters together from an alpha stamp that I have. But of course we're all nice. Marshall's dusting and helping to get ready for decorations. Gibson's doing the dishes. He's hanging up an ornament. Matt's was nice. I'm nice. The boys FaceTimed me at work one day, but we had donuts one day, and that was very naughty. But I thought that was kind of cool. All right. So, I am also waiting on getting a photo of Matt with his favorite gift of the Christmas holiday, which was getting the Guardians of the Galaxy on Blu-ray. And then my Christmas Eve outfit, I couldn't get it to print as a 3x4. I don't know why I didn't print as a 3x4, so I just need to reprint that as a 3x4 and not a 4x6. So sorry. So this is O, and O would be for ornament. So we decorated at work. These are my work buds. And then we start with P. So P is going to be for present. So these are some of the things that we got. Like Marshall got Legos, Gibson got an elf mug, and just some opening of presents, and then presents under the tree, Christmas Eve presents. Marshall got some, I made these just real simple, just 4x6 or 4x4s and 4x6s. Peanuts game, more, he got more Legos as presents. And then when they exchanged gifts to each other, I just did like a little thanks bro label there. So. And then more P, I have a little bit dedicated to peppermint. So these Trader Joe's peppermint dark chocolate cookies were pretty much amazing. Somebody from work brought them, and we just killed the whole box. Peppermint bark, always a favorite. It's gorgeous. It's delicious. I could eat it all the time. And Matt found these peppermint ice cream sandwiches, which were also way too delicious. I have this one section here for P being for peace, because I'm not like a hippie or anything, but the P fit with the word peace for this particular story, because Marshall had a bit of a Christmas Eve meltdown. So I wrote the story here, and then if you pull the page out, there's another card exactly like this underneath that tells the rest of the story. So I just couldn't fit it. Q comes next, so it's for quiet, and I just have this one kind of nice serene picture of when we first put the tree up and there weren't any decorations yet, and it was just quiet. And so I used the rest of the page for just a couple of other things that fit color wise, because there's pretty much not a lot that goes for Q. And then R is next. So I did relaxing and rain and reindeer and ribbons and bows. Lot of tags, and I did end up using a lot of pop dots because I wanted a little bit more dimension and to pop some things off and give things some dimension. So I tried to use those when I was doing some layering. And then R for road trip, and we took a trip to see some family, just a real quick, like an hour away, and so I thought this was a good color flow. And this just a car, one of my favorite die-cast cars in my collection, the little tree, and I just figured it. So S is for shopping, and S is going to be for shopping. We actually did our Christmas shopping, and we did a real simple Christmas this year, and we shopped together for the boys, and then Gibson and his friend went to a place, and just because it started with an S, I put it here because I didn't have any other place for it. And then Marshall had his school Christmas program, and so I just wrote a little bit about that, and then him and his little tie, and the three of us enduring all of the other classes, just waiting for Marshall to sing. And this is Gibson's like face right now all the time. Every time I ask him to take a picture, he does this silly derp face is what he calls it, but he really is happier than that in real life. And then S is also for stocking. So there weren't anything in the stockings. This is a different day, but Marshall was interested in just checking the stockings out and standing by the fireplace. So but then the Christmas morning, the boys are opening their stockings and kind of comparing and seeing what they got. And T is for Thanks Christmas, which is our holiday that we made up for in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, when we get to see my parents. They don't live in California anymore, so they came out for Thanks Christmas, and we make a big dinner, and then we do Christmas presents. So we just called it that. So that's my parents, and then Marshall and my mom bought some Mario jammies because she knows Marshall loves Mario, so they were wearing their jammies together. And then, funny story, my dishwasher broke right before we were cooking Christmas dinner, and Christmas dinner ended up being just a little late because we needed to finish putting the dishwasher in. So thankfully my dad was there to help and knows how to do all that kind of stuff. So he got it all installed and helped Matt take care of that. And one of the funny things that my mom and I were having to be inventive with how we could finish up dinner. So we couldn't use the sink because my dad had the water shut off. But we had to drain the potatoes, so we just went out to the grass in the backyard and drained them there. So we had to do what we had to do to get Thanks Christmas dinner ready. And then T is also for trimming the tree. So this is Marshall and I spreading out all the branches and just getting ready to get the tree decorated. And just a little journaling about that. And then U is for under the tree. So Marshall's checking out all the presents and just a picture of all of the presents under the tree for Christmas morning. V is for village, and so just the pieces of the village pieces that I've had for many, many years. And recently Matt's grandfather just gave us all of their village pieces. So it was like 12 or 15 different village pieces that are really, really cool. Lots of fun trees and people that go along with it. So I'm excited to switch them out. I don't have room for all of them, but I'm excited to switch them out each year and use different ones. W is next. So W is for wrapping. So just one little picture of me doing some wrapping and a little journaling. And then waiting. Waiting is the very worst part. Marshall wakes up very early, and Christmas was certainly no exception. So he was not a fan of waiting, and we ended up waiting until 7 to wake Gibson up. And he's just kind of trying to check out what some things are, and I think that was a Lego, and he guessed it pretty quickly. But so we were just waiting and watching the Yule log on television. They don't have any programming on, so they just put this like 1980s fire, which was kind of cool. But anyway, lots of doilies and just a little, it's getting towards the end, so things are getting a little more simple, and I'm running out of supplies, and I'm kind of going into my regular stash to use some different things and pulling for colors. So, but I am very pleased with how it turned out. And X is next, and the only thing I could think of for X was Christmas Day. So I used an X and for Christmas, but then I wrote on a little label Christ because I didn't, in 20 years, I don't want any, I want it to be very clear that for us it is definitely about Christ and his birth and not just presents and cookies. Although that might be what it looks like. Anyway, so I really had fun using this because a lot of the December daily kits are, date driven. And so I had all these 3x3 pieces that had a different style for each day up to 25. And I wasn't really getting a chance to use them. And there's a lot of things that say 25 and a lot of things that are date driven that I didn't get to use because I wasn't really doing my album in that going in that direction. So anyway, I finally got to use a couple of those things, and then only 0 days until Christmas because it was Christmas morning. And here's a graphic that I did of the mess, the post-Christmas mess. And one of my favorite quotes, I think I did something similar to this last year. One of the most glorious messes in the world is the mess created in the living room on Christmas Day. Don't clean it up too quickly. I just always really liked that. And then breakfast. Gibson wanted hot chocolate in his new mug. And then this was actually not taken on Christmas morning, but it was just a picture of the house and it fit and it was an extra picture, so I used it. And just, the date and where we were and a picture kind of all of us and our new moose. And I just felt like this was from a newer Studio Calico kit, and I didn't really know that I would use it anywhere else, and I liked the color that it pulled from here and that it was very simple. And then I just pulled a few of the yellows again and the greens just kind of randomly. But I like how that turned out. So this is Christmas Day, basically. And we did some relaxing. We built some Legos, and Marshall and I pigged out and watched A Christmas Story like 3 times in a row. Anyway, that was Christmas. That's X. And then Y is for you. And I did just a little, kind of like a summary about each boy, kind of how they are right now, and did a similar little graphic for each of them. This was a picture that one of Gibson's friends took of him when they went on a long bike ride up into some rocks and stuff that are nearby our house. So I just wanted to use that. I didn't want that one to go unused. And then Z, the final one, is just basically the Z's like for sleeping. And I did this little graphic of Marshall sleeping on the big moose, because the moose that we got this year was almost as big as Marshall. And he was taking a little rest. So anyway, that's my December daily album. I hope you are darn near caught up on yours. I really wasn't trying to it wasn't a race for me to try to get done, but what I didn't want was for it to not get done. So if you're struggling, take a break, maybe work on some of your other project life projects, or maybe a totally different non-Christmas project, and then get back into it, because the problem that some people face with these kinds of projects, they feel very daunting, and sometimes they get left unfinished, and we don't want that. We definitely want lots of finished products. So keep it up. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Feel free to comment in the video, or comment on my blog, or comment on Instagram, or wherever you can find me. Let me know if you have any questions, and we will be in touch. We will chat. We've got some really cool things coming this year. I've got some plans for some cool stuff, maybe some more scrapbooking, project life things, maybe some more handwriting things, a little teaser. Anyway, Happy New Year, you guys. Thank you again for being so cool and rad and with me, and sharing all of my stuff around, and just being overall awesome. So talk to you guys soon. Happy New Year, and we will talk soon.